All right. Welcome, one and all, to episode 227 of Geekamole. This is our 38th episode, technically, if you count our pilot, which was episode 0. And I'm looking at the numbers rolling up steadily. I am seeing the volumes on our side going up and down like they should.
Yay. So things...
Mouse is making his camera jiggle like there's no tomorrow.
Yay.
And welcome to our post-E3 Shadow of E3 episode, because we E3'd it up a lot last week. We've proven that Bethesda owns our souls in terms of video games. And we got a lot of other things to talk about this week, but I'm going to let the two of them talk about most of it because I'm in a bad mood this weekend. So
That's fair. That's fair.
So let's go ahead and start off with, let me get down to the thing. There we go. Cece, you're up first.
Yes. So, Wizards of the Coast, if you are at all interested in D&D minis, they have giant minis, and I don't mean minis that are just larger. I mean minis of giants. This is not an oxymoron. Minis of giants is what's happening.
So they're giant mini-minis.
It's like giant shrimp.
Well, it's for the new Storm King's Thunder adventure that we've been hearing a lot about recently, if you've had your ear to the ground lately on the Dungeons & Dragons
front. What have you done to your camera for? There we go. Sorry. Your camera went all wonky for there for a second.
So if your normal figure is a little bit over an inch tall, these giants are about 5.5-ish inches tall. Sometimes a little more, sometimes... I think some of them are a little closer to 5 inches tall. Depends on whether or not you're counting
So
weapons.
they shouldn't be called giants. They should just be called average.
Averages.
Well, they're giant minis.
But they're giant minis.
Giants.
They're mini giants. So yeah. Okay, measuring from approximately 4 inches to over 5.5 inches in height. I think, yeah, that's how you measure them depends on whether or not you count the weapon. So, to have giant adventures, you're going to need some giant figures, and that's via the WizKids Facebook page. So, this is cool.
So are these like humans, or are they actual giants?
They're giants. These are giants.
So we would expect to see things like Ettins and things like that.
Yes, that's what that's what I think. Now these are for the new Storm King's Thunder adventure. I haven't played the new Storm King's Thunder adventure. I don't own the book or anything, so I don't know if they actually include Ettins, but they possibly would. These are they're giants. They're Dungeons and Dragons giants, and so I'm kind of interested in buying them because they look cool. Also, so that I can play giant stuff with the next D&D group I play with, so that would be cool. They're kind of expensive, though. They're about, I want to say $49.90. Oh, wait, no, that's the book. Yeah, I don't know how tall they are. The miniatures will be released with the new adventure in September. I'm not sure how expensive they are, but they're always kind of expensive. So anyway,
So there.
Yeah.
Next
up.
Next up.
So those of you who played System Shock in the 90s and remember many sleepless nights, well, it's coming back. System Shock is coming up with a new Kickstarter campaign, and Night Drive 2 Studios have announced that instead of the title that they were going to go for, which was System Shock Remastered, the 1994 game Reboot is now just being called System Shock because it is the real thing, bitches. And I don't know if you've ever played the game, either of you, but that game gave me nightmares. It was good. And System Shock 2 was even worse.
System Shock is BioShock before BioShock.
And better, I think better executed too, which is...
That's because you're a hipster.
No, it isn't.
It's harder. I think it's a lot harder. I think the this skill level, it goes way, like, it starts at really difficult, and it ends at, like, insane.
Well, the reason why I think it's better executed is because unlike the BioShock titles, there is no bizarre divorce between action and storytelling. That was the most glaring in BioShock Infinite, in which it's not hips. recognizing a well-designed game is non-hipsterism. It's not going, oh well, I was into Bioshock, System Shock before you even knew what System Shock was, because everybody knows System Shock. So you can't be a hipster if the thing that you like is just old, but everybody knows it.
Okay.
So there you go. Go, and if you want, System Shock Reboot happening, which I imagine 99% of humanity does, go and throw your money at it, and they will be richer than God.
By the way, it's on Kickstarter. He forgot to mention that.
I did say that. It's ahead of its Kickstarter campaign. The Kickstarter campaign hasn't launched yet. But if you rewind, you'll hear me say it.
Everyone pause while I do that. No. Just kidding.
Uh-huh.
I make joke. Like Grey Worm, I make joke.
You make joke like Great Pam, like Final Pam.
You make joke.
God forgive me.
God forgive me. We should have the Final Pam as a co-host.
If you can get them on, sure. Teeny Titans.
Teeny Titans. Okay, so Teeny Titans is a new iOS game. It's basically Pokemon, but with Teen Titans. It is based on the Teen Titans Go art style, so if you don't like that, don't buy the game. But I think it's $3.99 for the entire game. There's no fee to pay, anything like that stuff.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, fee to play. Yeah, whatever.
No, you want it's fee to play. That's what.
Yeah.
Jim Sterling. Thank God for Jim. Jim Sterling calls it.
Yes. That's what it is. So it looks like a lot of fun. If you're into that, it's very similar to the Pocket Mortys. If you have ever played Pocket Mortys, which I have played and I have enjoyed immensely. I have not played Teeny Titans because it costs money and I'm poor. I might buy it in the future, but all the reviews that I've seen of it are really good. And so, yay, maybe try that out. It is like you collect the Teen Titans and you battle them. It's really cool. So,
I will object. I think this game sucks because it's not on Android.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So, boo.
Next up.
Yay.
Horror of the Orient.
I love the dramatic pause. Horror!
Okay. Last night I finished reading Neil Gaiman's and Terry Pratchett's Good Omens. And in that book there is this old guy who goes, Whore of Babylon! And I nearly went Whore of Babylon. So that's why I paused. I went, wait, no. So those and it's written. I think he's a Scottish character because it's written as whore of Babylon. But in any case, so those of you who liked L.A. Noire, and there is a fair amount of people who did, including myself, even though I haven't yet to finish the game on my third playthrough, were enthusiastic about the spiritual sequel that was announced in 2012 called Whore of the Orient, which took place in was it the 1930s? Yes, it took place in China during the 1930s, and it was going to be very noir, etc. However, the company received $200,000 in funding from Screen NSW, which is an Australian government branch in New South Wales, to produce the game, and then silence. The rest was silence, like Hamlet. And we have not heard anything about this game outside of a very early group of screenshots, very early in the development phase. And recently, Derek Proud, who was one of the producers with the company, had an interview with Finder.com in Australia, and where he basically reveals that he does not think that we will ever see this game. He also has no direct communication because this was one of the games and one of the studios that he left in a rather acrimonious manner. But considering that we have not heard anything at all about the development of this game, any updates whatsoever, Derek Proud is the most recent update we have of it, and it sounds like this game is not going to be made, which is sad because those, there are not nearly enough well-made noir games out there like L.A. Noire was, so that makes me sad.
Although it was funny, I did see an article while looking for things that I was going to talk about. Somebody had posted a think it might have been Kotaku, had posted an article where they basically said the games like Witcher and all the Nintendo games were actually secretly noir novels, and they actually did noir versions of the 3 most recent Witcher episodes, and they're like, and somebody's like, I am so up for a noir version of The Witcher.
Yes,
I would watch.
I want that.
I would love that. I would love a noir version of The Witcher. Love it.
All right, so we done with Horror of the Orient?
We are done with the horror
All right,
of the Orient.
Age of Sigmar.
So Age of Sigmar, we have 2 big things talking about that I'm going to be mentioning here. So there are new summoning rules, supposedly. We know that there's going to be the new General's Handbook. There have been a lot of changes. I don't know whether they're good or bad. I personally don't play Age of Sigmar, but I know a lot of people who do, so that's why we're talking about it. What's interesting is that I'm looking at the Bell of Lost Souls thing, and so they say that there's new summoning rules, but the part where they actually discuss the summoning rules, they're like, well, I didn't actually take a picture of this, but if I remember correctly, these are the rules, and I don't put a lot of stock into that, so I'm not really going to talk about the new summoning rules as much, just because they're rumors and I don't put a lot of stock in those. But we do know that some of the new rules include the 3 rules of 1. The following rules apply to all pitched battle games. The first rule of 1: each spell can be attempted only once per turn rather than once per wizard per turn. For example, after you have attempted to cast Arcane Bolt, you cannot attempt to cast it again the same turn. The second rule of 1: a roll of 1 to hit, wound, or save always fails. This applies to the roll after any rerolls have been taken, but before modifiers are applied. The third rule of 1: any extra attacks, hit rolls, or wound rolls gained by the use of an ability cannot themselves generate extra attacks, hit rolls, or wound rolls. For example, the extra hit roll generated by Ripperdactyl's Voracious Appetite ability could not also generate further hit rolls. So if you want to look at the other stuff that they've leaked out, check out the Bell of Lost Souls page on this. I'm not really going to talk about the rumors because they're rumors. I don't think they're news. So, but there's been some news about the new point system that's going to be used in Age of Sigmar. And so supposedly we've seen more. So I think you should check that one out. Some people have seen the actual rules and are beginning to play with them. I have not played with them. But
Well, why is that? Why is that?
Because I don't play Age of Sigmar. Because when they blew up Fantasy, I just got frustrated and gave up. Like, they just blew up Fantasy, and I was like, but well, fuck you too, then.
Well, fuck you too.
So I have not played Age of Sigmar, but apparently it's doing well in Europe, so, yeah. But anyway, new point systems are being used. If you want to check that out, it's very easy to find different versions of the new summoning rules, of the new point system stuff. So go ahead, find that out, see how that affects your game. I think this is a great idea because the no point system thing, I didn't like it. I know it made the game a lot simpler, but I thought it was stupid. And it's one of the reasons that I haven't played Age of Sigmar, because I thought it was...
Because it's stupid.
Stupid. Stupid.
Do you think I'm stupid or something?
I was like, this is stupid. I don't want.
Stupid.
Don't wanna. So yeah.
Alright, that's it for Age of Sigmar.
Yep, that's it for Age of Sigmar.
Next up, No Man's Sky.
Talking about stupid. So, No Man's Sky producer Sean Murray, sounds you pronounce it Sean Murray, yes, apparently has just revealed that he has been involved in a legal battle that has lasted for over 3 years. A secret legal battle because his game has the word Sky in it, and the fucking British telecompany Sky they say they own the word Sky. And so they were suing a fucking game that has nothing to do with a goddamn telecommunications company because of copyright infringement. Now, however, they do. You would think this is a stupid, frivolous lawsuit, not in England. The reason why they stuck to the stupid legal battle is because in 2013, a British court ruled that Microsoft's SkyDrive was infringing on the terms of Sky's trademark, which is why Microsoft then called it stupid, crappy online cloud thing OneDrive instead. So, I mean, fuck you British courts for upholding frivolous, stupid lawsuits. However, this legal battle has nothing to do with No Man's Sky's delay, which has been pushed now to August. The release has been pushed to August. It had to do mostly with polish and things that needed to be fixed. So
I'm okay with that. I'd rather get a good game than a buggy one.
yeah, you know, I would rather have an Origin type game than an Electronic Arts type.
Yeah,
game.
I'd rather wait a couple of months and get a better game. So good for you guys on, deciding to just get a little extra polishing done. I hope that's what's actually going on.
Yeah, so No Man's Sky is going to break your wallet on August 9th,
Yeah.
and it's coming out for the PC and the PlayStation 4.
And just for the if for our tabletop people, if this does not remind you of what is it? Games Workshop's lawsuit against that poor woman when they decided that they had copyrighted the term Space Marine when she tried to write a book about about her own version of Space Marines.
Marines in space.
Marines in space, and that's why everything's like Adepta Sororitas. These, new names that I can't remember because I don't care, and I'm gonna call them Space Marines and Sisters of Battle and Imperial Guard. So anyway,
There.
so there.
Next up, Kings of War.
Kings of War. Yes.
Arr.
Yes. I say, trying to.
Verily, she says
A
to
second. Sorry, my computer's freezing up and I don't have my notes are just like, nope, you don't need to talk
Nope,
about
you
Kings of
don't.
War.
Denied.
So I'm gonna keep talking while I wait for my computer to respond. So Mantic's Kings of War, Mantic Games. This is an alternative to fantasy that I personally prefer. From again Mantic Games for one thing, it's like a third as expensive, so it's way cheaper to actually have an army from Mantic Games. Of course, the models aren't as good, but they're good. So they have their new army supplement book, Uncharted Empires. It's a lot of fun, supposedly. Again, this is one that I haven't played yet, that I will be playing soon, and I'm hoping to be able to actually say whether it's good or bad myself. I've heard it's really good. But they have new armies that are quote, giving budding generals a host of new options and dastardly tricks to outfox and outfight their opponents, including the Brotherhood, Salamander armies, the Herd, the League of Rordia, the Trident Realms of Neritica, the Empire of Dust, Nightstalker armies, Ratkin armies, and the Varadkar. So, it's going to be cool. Uncharted Empires, just kind of expanding their Mantic games, the Kings of War stuff. I'm excited. I think this is going to be cool. I like having more options. And the new models, the designs are really cool. Again, the models are not as high quality as GW models, but they're really cool. Like right now, the Empire of Dust models, I'm looking at them, and they're like mummies, and they have some general types, I think, with Anubis heads. It's really cool. It's like based off of an Egyptian kind of look, and I really like that. I think it's cool.
Sweet. All right, next up, Avengers Academy.
So, for those of you who are playing Avengers Academy, and it's a goddamn addictive little game, just in for Pride Month, Marvel, TinyCo, which is the company that does the game, has added a gay character, Union Jack, who was canonically gay. Well, the Brian Falsworth Union Jack. So he will get to join your academy, and also he has this cute little interaction with Black Widow. She comments that he's the only man who's not hitting on her, and she goes, honey, I'm gay. So get him while he's still hot, because otherwise, yeah.
Yay!
All right. Next up, back to Warhammer, Horus Heresy.
Horus Heresy, they have a new FAQ. What?
What?
Drew, I heard you pronounce it as the Horus Heresy.
Oh, no. Horus Heresy.
Okay.
I just had the wrong kind of mental image
the
here.
Orient there, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
My mind is like in Shanghai right now.
this isn't going to take too long. This is just Horus Heresy. They have a new FAQ and errata update. Check it out online on the Forge World. I think it's on the Forge World page. So go ahead, look at it. It's to be more in line with 7th edition, and they further clarify some differences between 40K and the Horus Heresy rules. So go ahead, check that out if you're at all interested in playing Horus Heresy. There you go.
Right. On to industry-related news. This is my first topic for the day. Isn't that exciting? And it's going to be brief. Basically, back in April, for those who had HTC Vive, you were actually able to play Oculus exclusive games if you used a third-party program called Revive, apparently. Well, in order to combat this, Oculus started putting in a software check that would ensure its games were in fact running on the Rift. So the guys who created Revive basically broke Oculus's DRM completely.
Oh.
Such that they completely bypassed it, and you could still do that. Well, I guess it looks like Oculus threw up its hands and surrendered, and they have in fact taken out that DRM. And as of, I don't know what day, but basically the creators of Revive have confirmed that the DRM is gone, so they actually rolled back the patch so that it no longer has to check that and bypass it. So now you are able to once again play Oculus exclusive, quote-unquote, games and demos on your HTC Vive again, just using Revive. So there you go, guys. It's going to be an interesting
legal battle there.
Interesting battle there.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't sued them for all they're worth, but Oculus, hasn't sued the other.
Well,
anyway.
The question is Revive isn't violating the terms of service, it's the people who do it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right, moving on to Steam Summer Sale.
Summer sale!
My wallet is
sale.
Screaming.
This is why I don't have Teeny Titans, because I've been buying things on Steam. When I say things like, I don't have this because I'm poor, it's because most of my money goes to things like the Steam Summer Sale.
And the GOG Summer Sale.
And the GOG Summer Sale. So Steam Summer Sale is on right now, and it's crazy, it's wonderful. I had someone
made
almost...
a Game of Thrones video to announce it, and it was perfectly fitting.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed my ass off when Mal showed that one to me.
Oh, it's fantastic. I haven't seen that yet. You should show it to me. But anyway, it's a summer sale. There's a little bit of news involving that, actually. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, it's on sale for $7.49 instead of $14.99, which is roughly half off. But you can't gift it. Yes, it's actually not going to be giftable. Says a Valve spokesperson. They say their goal with sales is to grow the community, and historically during sales, the new users that stick around are mainly the ones that purchase copies for themselves. So I guess they're trying to stop people from buying copies of Call of Duty for their friends or whatever. So
you have no friends. You belong with us.
Yep.
Well, there's also a thing that happens with a lot of, for example, Twitchers, who they will, when Steam has these sales, they will stock up on a lot of giftables in order to give out to people who watch them.
Yeah. Yeah. So So if you want to check out that particular thread, you should check Reddit. There is a Polygon article on it, but their sources are entirely from Reddit. So just go to the Reddit page.
We'll need to script the middleman.
Don't bother going to Polygon. Just go to Reddit, and you're going to see all the comments. You're going to see actual Valve people talking about that. So go ahead and do that.
And I think that's actually a very good rule of thumb. Don't ever bother going to Polygon.
Yeah, don't bother going to Polygon. Just go to the sources. And it's funny because so many of their things, they're like Reddit as a source.
Yeah.
As much hate as Reddit gets, it's frequently the source for all these articles online. So, I mean, you can hate Reddit, but you gotta go to it if you want actual. Anyway, so yeah, check out the Reddit page for more information on that.
All right.
And next, print.
No. Don't
Oh,
skip
nope.
me.
Oh, my bad.
Don't stop the beat.
All right, so for those who own a PS3, yes, I know we're on the PS4.5 coming up, but for those who own a PS3 like myself, PlayStation has been in a class action lawsuit for a while there, regarding people who wanted to make use of the other OS functionality of the PlayStation 3. That is, you could at one point actually install, say, Linux on your PlayStation 3, until Sony took that functionality away. And unfortunately, that pissed off quite a few of its owners. And so there's a class action lawsuit. So anybody who owned a PlayStation 3 between November of 2006 and April of 2010, when this feature was removed, could potentially get anywhere from $9 to $55, depending on whether they actually installed Linux or really intended to install Linux.
Why?
The problem is that you have to actually demonstrate that you did or actually intended to do it. And that you basically have, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to demonstrate. You have to show when you bought the PS3. So for people who bought it like myself and, fairly recently, so I'm not in on this because obviously I bought mine secondhand. But you have to basically show that you were going to install it on quote, the fat model PS3, that you had the, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that you had to have had I think a PlayStation Network sign-in ID that you have to provide, submit proof of that you were using the OS functionality, but
a bunch of bureaucratic bullshit because Sony doesn't, because Sony just wants to make money.
But then again, the judge has not yet ordered that this is the final settlement, but this is where we're currently looking. Mm-hmm. And so you could receive money. You could also receive free games as compensation because that's what they did last time. They lost something like this.
Give you all the games that didn't sell.
That nobody gives a shit about.
No one wants.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So next up is the Brexit.
Yes, and this is my bad. I was looking at the wrong order for things. Anyway, so Brexit. The UK voted to leave the EU, and if you have been paying attention to the exchange rate like I have, buy Forge World models right now before they adjust the prices online. Now. Right now. Buy them in this second, because before Games Workshop has a chance to adjust prices and reinflate them back up, go ahead, buy them with the British pound, because these adjustments that they haven't adjusted the prices at all. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. Buy lots of Forge World.
Because a lot of your tabletop gaming companies are British.
Yes, a whole lot of big players in the tabletop group, tabletop gaming's people. They're all based in the UK. So go ahead, buy your stuff. Buy models. This is the time to buy models right now before the British economy figures out what's happening.
Now, the question, does that also go for some of the source books too?
I don't know. Possibly.
I'm a drive-through. Oh my gosh! I'm a drive-through RPG right now, and I'm looking at a lot of slashed prices.
Yeah.
I shall
Maybe
invest.
they have a summer sale.
Maybe they have a summer sale. Maybe they just haven't adjusted things.
Wink.
For the new economy. So while we're watching Great Britain be a big mess instead of us for once, yay!
not that we aren't a big mess right now.
Yeah. So anyway, do the thing.
All right.
We're watching them be commiserate in our messiness.
Yes, we're like, it's not us this time.
All right. Next up, Angel Catbird and the Prince.
So remember last year? It has actually been almost a year since I announced that a award-winning novelist, Margaret Atwood, who is known for her books The Blind Assassin, The Handmaid's Tale, and The Heart Goes Last, was working on a graphic novel, a superhero graphic novel. And it is now going to launch this fall in Dark Horse. And you can go to newsarama.com and take a look at the previews for Angel Catbird. And if you think that sounds trippy, it's one of the trippiest motherfucking things out there. It's clearly a nod to some of the Golden Age superhero origins, but it's Margaret Atwood doing it, so I'm gonna buy the shit out of this. And the artist is Johnny Christmas, which I think is the greatest name an artist could ever have.
It is Johnny Christmas.
All right.
Johnny, I am Christmas. Johnny Christmas. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes. Is that it for Angel Catbird?
That's it for Angel Catbird.
All right. Back to DC Rebirth.
Wait, am I the entire media section?
You are the entire print media section, sir.
All right, this is going to be brief. So DC has actually been doing very well with Rebirth. It has garnered a lot of positive reviews. However, we have gotten the solicits for September, and there are 2 titles that are kind of conspicuously missing. One of them is Earth 2, which was announced, and it's nowhere to be seen in the solicits. And the other one is a book that I thought is going to become my personal favorite, Super Sons, which is basically the adventures of Damian Wayne and Jonathan Kent, the new Superboy, or at least Super Kid, or whatever. But we haven't seen anything since they posted the designs a couple of months ago for the characters. So I hope DC's still going forward with this, because the book looks like it would be a lot of fun. So keep an eye out.
All right. That it for DC?
That it for DC.
All right. On to the broadcast section. So, Game of Thrones. Spoiler alert, just in case, in case I accidentally say something, I'm going to try and contain myself.
Yeah, you better hold it.
But for those who are current on the current season, last episode was the Battle of the Bastards. Season 9 for the season, or rather episode 9 for the season, which typically they have 10, so today, holy crap, today's the end of the season, guys. Finales tonight. But according to HBO, based off of the current recorded viewing, they've had more than 23 million people tuned in for Battle of the Bastards. They haven't even got, obviously, to the finale yet. This is, of course, including streaming, playback, DVRs, repeat viewings, plus the original airtime. So, but it's a 15% rise in viewership over last season, even with the finale still yet to come. So, it's getting huge. I, of course, have been doing everything in my power to try and get a review show for this and for Penny Dreadful, which, again, spoiler alert for those who are not caught up on the season 3 of Penny Dreadful, which season finale occurred last week. They have not renewed for season 4.
Oh.
And the season 3 finale ripped my freaking heart out.
Yeah, what I was going to say is the problem with you creating these review shows would be that half of the review would be you crying like a baby.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
That's what Penny Dreadful and Game of Thrones does to people.
That's kind of true. Like, if I had a Game of Thrones reaction video, like, it would mostly be me just crying.
Yeah.
I will admit
with the background music going, all by myself.
No, that's only if I'm doing the show all by myself, because that was never the intent. I don't want to do the show by myself. But anyways, so Game of Thrones season finale tonight, and sadly Penny Dreadful ended last week because no season 4 confirmed yet. So yeah, sorriness. Next up, Mouse.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, am I going?
Flash.
Oh yes, Flash.
Flash.
So, bit of a warning. The Flash season 2 is ending, so the new season is not going to come until the fall. However, we now have confirmation that the 3rd season is going to deal with fucking Flashpoint. For those of you who don't know what Flashpoint is basically the stupid seed baby that Geoff Johns and Didio came up with that eventually culminated in the New 52. So, I'm scared. I don't want my CW shows to become New 52-ish, so just touch it and then come back. Don't stay.
That is the weirdest. Just touch it and come back.
I'm sorry.
That has to be the best quote of the season for us.
That should be that should be the title of the episode.
We
Just
don't
touch
title
it.
episodes anymore. I got tired of it.
I demand a title for that quote.
Yeah, no.
So, but in any case,
Single manly tear. There you go.
single manly to be forewarned. The Flash might be handling Flashpoint in the next season. So I hope that the handling is just touch and go and not touch and stay and play.
Yeah. So, but my question is, in order for them to handle Flashpoint, that means Wonder Woman has to be a prominent feature of the show.
Not necessarily.
Flashpoint was heavily Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman, Cyborg, Batman centric.
Yeah.
We know, but unfortunately, most likely because of the licensing issues, Wonder Woman will probably not show up. So they might have to come up with something else.
Although I believe Tyler Hoechlin has been confirmed as the new Superman for the Supergirl series.
Yeah, but look how long that finagling took.
Yeah.
And considering that, well, I think that...
I mean, they could have easily gotten Tom Welling, but then again, he's probably,
Yeah.
But apparently the internet is burning down around, Tyler Hoechlin, so...
I like that. I like that mental image.
All right, shall we move on then?
Let us move on.
All right, RuPaul's Drag Race, yet another show I'd love to make a reaction show to. They've announced All Stars. I almost went to the Orient.
Yes, all whores.
All whores.
Of course.
It's starting August 23rd, if I recall correctly.
Whores.
They have announced the cast, so I'm just going to go ahead and list them off. From Season 2, they have Tatiana, who is a member of the top 4. From Season 4, Fifi O'Hara, who is one of the top 3. Then the big season, Season 5, they have Alaska, Roxy Andrews, Detox, Coco Montrese, and Alyssa Edwards, who were collectively the top 6, not including the winner. Adore Delana from Season 6, who was in the top 3. And then from Season 7, Ginger Minge, who was in the top 3, and Katya from top 5, who was also the one and only Miss Congeniality, who's going to be participating in this All-Stars.
Yay.
I don't know if they're going to do the same shtick they did with the original All-Stars, where they forced the queens to team up, because the original All-Stars had 12. This time they only have 10.
You're gonna work together, bitch.
Well, they did that last time, and unfortunately, that causes some queens to go home prematurely. For example, Pandora Box, who was forced to go home because Mimi I First sucks on the show, quite honestly. Talented in other ways, but not the best show queen. But anyways, so yeah, if anybody in my area wants to do a show with me,
Or participate in it. No.
hint.
Nudge,
Especially
nudge.
the drag queens who want to do this with me, because I am not going to dress up in drag because I look like my sister when I do that.
You totally should. No, here's the thing. You should.
Don't have time.
You should, and you should do a co-host episode with your sister.
No. I have a better idea.
Oh.
He should get a drag queen, but I actually agree with Drew because part of the point of RuPaul's Drag Race is to show drag as a real art form. And so with Drew just kind of casually dressing in drag, it's going to take away a little bit from it. It's going to be a little bit less like, I don't know. I feel like he'd want to do the art form.
Well, that's why I
If
said.
a professional drag queen wants to dress me up, fine, but I'm not going to do it myself because, again, I
All
look
right.
like my sister.
There we go.
All right.
Also, you'd have to shave.
YouTube followers, subscribe and send us a suggestion for your favorite drag queen so we can have Drew properly dolled up for these reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
we'll do.
You better hurry because it's August 23rd
Better.
is when it starts.
Yeah, so move, bitches.
All right, so yeah, there you go. That's a thing. Moving on. Enterprise, Star Trek.
Mouse and I are going to kind of tag team this because we both were like, I want to talk about this. So CBS and Paramount have released their official fan film guidelines, and they are really strict. And for those of you who are big fans of the fan films in general, you're not going to be happy.
No.
You are not going to be happy.
So the new measures are pretty draconian. For example, the fan production must be less than 15 minutes for each single episode, single contained story. It cannot have more than 2 segments, episodes, or parts. It cannot exceed 30 minutes total with no additional seasons, episodes, parts, sequels, or remakes. So fuck you, NXR, basically.
So that one rule by itself has taken out a lot of classic fan films, actually, not just this latest one.
So,
Mouse,
yeah.
just
Like,
for
they
the
can't.
record, it's Axonar.
Well, I inverted it. Axonar. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I screwed up a made-up word.
The title of the fan production or any parts cannot include the name Star Trek.
Okay.
However, the title must contain a subtitle with the phrase "a Star Trek fan production" in plain typeface. The fan production cannot use the term official in either its title or subtitle or in any marketing, promotions, or social media for the fan production. Look, I don't think anyone who's going to watch a fan film thinks that it's official.
Yeah. Honestly, here's the thing, and here is the thing that pisses me off. I'm sorry, Paramount, but you have just essentially mined and bombed your own fan base. Star Trek as a franchise is only alive because of the fans that wouldn't let the show go after you canceled it after the well, it was DCU at the time, but whatever. Canceled after the second season.
Third
season.
Well, it was canceled after the second, and then then people were like, no, and they brought it back for a third season. But the third season was kind of terrible, and so they were just like, okay, this is the end.
Yeah. The only reason the only reason your cash cow exists is because the fans kept it alive. The fans wrote on fanzines, I guess. They wrote books, they wrote stories, they passed it around, they wrote fan fiction. They were the creators of the / fan fiction, and that caused a lot of fans to stick around. I'm sorry, kids, but you basically just fucked your fan base.
Yeah. The rule that I hate the most, if a fan production uses commercially available Star Trek uniforms, accessories, toys, and props, these items must be official merchandise and not bootleg items or imitations of such commercially available products, which means that if they are currently selling Star Trek costumes, no matter how shitty they are, you have to use that Star Trek costume, even if it costs you $500 per costume,
And
instead of just making your own.
Yeah, even if your mother is a professional seamstress, you could easily make your own custom.
Mm-hmm. Even if you've made your own, like the kind of weird green shirt that's a little bit too tight, a little bit too short, you know? Even if you have your own, like, original Star Trek, the shirts that are too short that you have made and tailored it to your body, you have to buy the commercial made.
Well, see, the one that gets me, I don't remember the exact wording, but it basically comes down to everyone who's in the whatever it is, they must be amateurs. They cannot be paid, and you cannot have a person who was ever on an episode of Star Trek,
which is like every actor ever.
Yeah, and so again, Axonar is screwed. There's the Michael Dorn thing that they were wanting to do, that's screwed. Anything with what's his face, Tuvok, that's screwed.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm not gonna watch the new Star Trek. I'm sorry, the franchise is dead to me. As long as it is being handled like that by Paramount, go suck a dick.
I'm gonna watch the new movie because J.J. Abrams isn't in charge of it. I think it might be good.
I'm still gonna watch the movie. I just don't agree with the. I'm sure they're gonna. Suits are still gonna continue, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not gonna give my money to people who disregard their fans in such a way and who ignore the history, because honestly,
I'm like, still technically theirs. They can do what the fuck they want.
Well, it is. But here's the thing. I agree with a lot of the things, such as they cannot make money off of it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. However, all of the other restrictions don't really need to be there from a legal point of view.
And again, from a strictly legal perspective, I do understand them. I really do.
Yes, but here's the thing. Now, in this day and age, you have to find a certain compromise between maintaining your intellectual property, which you have to do, but also allowing the fan community to exist.
And again, I understand, but in this modern day and age, which is extremely litigious, it's just like with Blizzard shutting down,
Well, the reason they shut down those servers were they did have a good technical reason for it too.
No, they didn't have. It was absolutely no technical reason whatsoever. They were simply protecting their IP.
Well, we talked about this last week.
Strictly that was no. That's the reason they haven't launched their own.
Oh, never mind that.
Start shutting down, Australia and all those. That was strictly to protect their IP. But anyways, moving on.
Moving on.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. The new theme. Oh, sorry. This is Mouse's. My bad.
Mouse, go for it.
Do I really have to?
No,
Okay.
I can skip this. We don't have to talk about it at all.
I can talk about it.
It has to be said. So Missy Elliott and Fallout Boy delivered. What the fuck did they deliver? So the new Ghostbusters theme hit, and I have seen a lot of video memes reactions to it. One that I think really sums up everything is the clip from It's a Wonderful Life, where Mary is walking out of her room and finds this phonograph playing a song, and she goes over to the phonograph. Just in case, for those people who were fetuses in the 1970s, a phonograph is like a record player, but the
It's got a big horn at the top.
are thicker. And for the younger people, there used to be these things called records. Wait, no, the vinyl is coming back, so I guess whatever. But she goes up to the player, she grabs the disc, and she smashes it to 1,000 pieces, and then she just goes like this. And that is exactly how I feel about this musical mediocrity. Because it's that, I guess that is what is so sad about it, because it's not bad. I mean, if it were bad, you could at least get some schadenfreude and get some sort of, it's so bad it's good kind of thing. And it's not good. It's just lays there like a lump. It lays there like a dead cat in the sun in the middle of Labor Day. That's just how bad it is, how not good or bad it is. It's a gigantic mediocrity that is a half-assed attempt at cashing in on the old song and the nostalgia factor without actually giving us anything new to be happy about. It's just, which I fear might be exactly the same thing for the movie. I hope it is not, but honestly, what kind of brain-dead executive thought, oh yeah, this is exactly the kind of song we want to throw out for the new movie? Why didn't anyone go up to Missy Elliott and go, no, bitch, that thing sucks. You go and make another one. Because that was shit. We're not going to launch our campaign with that. What kind of moron does that?
I'm going to point out I'm not going to play it on the air. I'm not going to make any effort to attempt to include it in this episode. Mouse has already ear-raped me with it once, actually technically twice.
I think it's really mediocre. I do think it's phoned in. I think it's not very good. And I think they kind of missed out what makes the original theme so
Catchy.
Iconic. Yeah, so catchy and iconic. And they missed out a lot of stuff. And I was kind of sad by that. Like, I would have been...
It feels so processed. If you think, it feels so sterile and processed. And I'm sorry, part of the charm of the original song is this guy did it, and he got his mother and his girlfriend and her friends to be the ones to sing in the chorus, Ghostbusters! It just felt, it was this kind of quirky, not what you would expect song. And instead, what we got from Missy Elliott and the other person...
Don't blame Missy Elliott for that.
Fallout Boy. I do blame her. I do blame her.
Don't blame Missy Elliott for that. I think
blame
she
Missy
did it for the
Elliott.
money. Look, she's making her return right now. She needs the money and she needs the exposure. I blame Fall Out Boy.
I blame her for it too, because she signed on to it and said, "I'll just do it for the money." No, bitch, you do it for the art. And if you, I'm sorry,
She may have genuinely wanted to do it for the art, and it may not have turned out very good. I just say don't blame. But I just don't want to put Missy Elliott under that kind of.
Well, I'm sorry. If she makes something good, then she'll get praised for it. But this is shit. She doesn't deserve to be praised for this, or even be forgiven for this. Now her comeback now has two things. She has to make up for this shit.
Yeah.
This is something that'll hang around her like an albatross. But yeah, it's bad. It's mediocre bad, it's very corporate, it's very sterile, it sounds very much like designed by committee, which a lot of people have said that they're afraid that that's what this movie's going to be. So it's not a good sign when the theme song is like that. It displays those those features that people were afraid that the movie might be. So, I guess we'll see July 15th. I'm going to see this just because I secretly I hope that the movie is good, but my inner cynic.
Don't secretly hope. Just hope it is.
Well,
He already announced it publicly, so it's not like he's secretly hoping.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that the movie is good, but my inner cynic knows better when it comes to this kind of made by committee ensembles.
All right, shall we
All
move
right.
on to Inner Cynics?
Yes, we're running very short on time right now.
Moving on to Inner Cynics, I saw Independence Day Resurgence yesterday.
How was it?
Well, actually, not yesterday. I saw it Friday. I think I saw somebody else's description of it, referred to it as a disaster porn. It was. Part of the.
Oh, Mr. Alien, I'm so happy you came to destroy the Capitol. I don't know how to repay you though.
So, anyways, yeah, part of the charm of the original Independence Day was you felt like humanity was, despite its obvious plot holes and things like that, you felt like humanity was actually fighting back, and that they were being innovative. And I agree with the comments that this time around it felt just a lot more like luck. The realization that the aliens have a queen was a bit like realizing that the Borg had a queen. You're like, what? Why? Was that truly necessary? No, that just gives you a big thing to fight at the end. I mean, I made a very politically incorrect comment the other day to Mouse, and thank God it was just to Mouse. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want anybody to think I'm...
Because you don't want to die.
I don't want to... Yeah, I don't need... Yeah.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
But let's be honest. They went around going, okay, we can't afford Will Smith, so we're just going to kill him off before the movie starts. And then we're going to go down a list of people to kill off so they don't have to show up later. And they literally did that. And I'm not going to tell you who dies, but you're not going to be shocked by anybody who does die. And those who don't die, you're not going to be shocked by that. They had actually hoped to write a third movie that would, in fact, take the battle to the aliens on their homeworld for a change. If the movie makes enough money, it is, as of last check, at like $16.8 million, which is less than they were hoping. It was behind Finding Dory's second week in release. Is it horrible? No. Is it good? Not really.
So it's just mediocre.
It is a lot of special effects. I'm a special effects person. It's a lot of special effects that are there just for going, woo, special effects, that don't need to be there. I mean, I'm watching this movie, and I literally had to leave twice to go pee because I had a lot to drink that day, and I missed nothing the entire time I was in the bathroom both times.
That's not a good thing.
That's pretty telling, I think. I mean, Brent Spiner, I think, was absolutely adorable this time around, much more than the weird, creepy dude he portrayed the first time. I think he was much more lovable.
Who?
Brent Spiner.
Oh, okay.
He was Dr. Oaken.
Okay, got it. For some reason,
Data.
I know who he is. I just didn't remember who he played, and the audio cut out a little bit, so I heard you and played a little adorable.
So, anyways, I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. It ranks right around the Volta movie. And speaking of the Volta movie,
then?
a 6 out of 10.
Oh yes.
And
So,
speaking of the Volta movie,
those of you who are capable of time travel, this announcement is for you. Why am I saying that? Because tomorrow, Monday, the June 27th, Dawn of Justice, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, extended edition.
Release is going to be in the theater.
Extended release, yeah. And that cut has the 30 minutes of movie that were excised from the original theatrical release. It's going to be in theaters only for one day and only in selected cities. Those are Austin, Burbank, Chicago, Columbus, Houston, Hollywood, New York, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Francisco, and Washington. So if you're watching the show after that date and you are capable of time traveling, go over and tell us what it was like. So yes, and that will bring up the movie to about 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Or
All right.
Which is 40 minutes less, which is 40 minutes less than Dances with Wolves.
Which actually won an award. So anyways,
In any case,
so that's it, guys.
Comparison of length.
That's it, guys. We're in fact going to even take the logo off the screen because it is the dead horse that shall never be named again.
yes.
Not beat. I did not beat it.
No, you just let it sit out there in a boulder for a while.
All right.
Moving on.
Moving on. We are going to end the show now.
Thank you. Yes, Mother Cece has spoken. Therefore, the show is over. We will see you next week.
Follow up.
Bye.